Hello everyone. My name is Jezreel. I'm the city engineer. Thank you very much for attending our meeting on the Client Avenue Service Road and Columbus Drive Roundabout. We greatly appreciate your interest on this new and exciting project, and also welcome your input and concerns. Our plan for this meeting is to discuss particularly this roundabout project, and including plans, construction timeline, and maps. So at the end of the presentation, we will open the floor to any question. So please save your questions and comments until that portion of the meeting. This evening, we're joined by the Honorable Mayor Anthony Copeland, who has taken an active role in this project. This project came about the mayor's sincere interest in traffic safety. His interest was piqued when he read an article about the safety and the efficiency of the roundabout. So he thought to himself, why not to build a roundabout in the city? So without him, there would not be a roundabout. So please join me in welcoming the Honorable Mayor Anthony Copeland.
I think Jesse. Okay, that's not the mic. That's the mic. Okay. I think Jesse is right on all points. Well, let me first start by welcoming each and every one of you. And Jesse is right on all those points. As I went about my travels, going to other cities, especially Valparaiso, I saw the efficiency of the roundabouts. Then NDOT had sent me information about roundabouts, about this is the future of intersections. When they showed the statistical data showing the safety features and what you would get in the handouts that will be given out, you too will see. But it's going to take a learning curve. The learning curve is going to come in to educate people on how to do it. Something that seems so simple, but yet is radical from what we're used to. But when you get past that discomfort of, they say, roughly 3 to 4 months, then you can do it blindfolded. But the beautiful thing about this is that the city of East Chicago is going to be blessed with not only one roundabout, but it's going to be 2. We're also going to put one at Raleigh and Dickey. That was a joint effort between BP and the city of East Chicago. That's going to be a $1.3 million roundabout. This is a $1.1 million roundabout. And all of this comes about, it has been years upon years that the city of East Chicago hasn't been able to invest in its infrastructure. When I first became your mayor, I was settled with a $15 million budget deficit. That was 2.5 years ago. That budget deficit is gone. We are now in the black. We were showing up our general fund budget with $13 million. We were taking $13 million, literally, putting it in the general fund budget to pay salaries. Now I can tell you that we use 0 of the casino dollars to show up our general fund budget. And this is why when you drive across our city, you're going to see a beautiful thing happening. You're going to see project after project. You go, we're finishing up Todd, Northcott. You're going to see the work that we're doing on the lakefront, because now we can take that $13 million, we can leverage it across projects. You know, sometimes it bordered on criminal that federal dollars and sometimes NERC dollars that ask us for matching dollars. They will say, we'll give you 8 if you put up 2. And we could not do that. But now we're poised to do some great things. I think the roundabout will give us the ability to just make a good gateway into our city. When you leave out here, you'll see the medium work that we're doing. For years and years, we had cracked up asphalt in between. Now we're laying down new concrete, and we will be putting other amenities in there to beautify the gateway coming into our city. And that's what this roundabout is going to give us the opportunity to do. It's going to give us the opportunity to do what other modern cities are doing, making it easier, more efficient. The numbers will show that even the cost of operating the signals, that you even save money on that because you had to pay for the electricity to do the signals lights. So as you can hear it in my voice, I am excited about the opportunity and the future of the city of East Chicago. And again, I'm going to turn this over back. Who will I be returning this back to you? Yeah. Back to Jesse, and we'll get the presentation started. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Mayor, for your remarks. Now I would like to introduce engineer Robin Pappenheim, who works for Garcia Consulting. Robin has served as a project manager for the Roundabout project, and she's very familiar with this project. So, Robin, please, she will discuss the plans of the Roundabout, some technical aspects of the Roundabout.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. As Jesse said, my name's Robin Pappenheim. I'm with Garcia Consulting, and we've been working for about the last year on the design of the roundabout. We've been working very closely with the city and also with NDOT. We're following all of their standards and state standards for the design of it. We expect their approval. We submitted a permit package to them a couple of months ago, and we expect their approval any day now, at which time we'll advertise for our bids. And we expect to get bids in from contractors approximately the end of June is our timeline right now, and then construction would start in July. And we should be finishing up in November, so it'll be a fairly fast project. While it's under construction, about half of the road will be open at a time, but there will be detour routes in place for any movements that you can't make, so you'll just follow the detour signs. But for the most part, we're going to cross you over into the other side, and you'll be able to get where you need to go during construction. Once the roundabout's complete, we have lots of literature here for you to take when you leave on how to maneuver the roundabout. I know new things are a little bit scary sometimes, but as the mayor very well stated, it really is the future. They really are much safer. The reason being that when you enter a roundabout, the geometry of it forces you to drive a little bit slower than you would at a four-way intersection, signalized intersection. So because the speeds are slower and because the angles are directing you more parallel with the other drivers, the types of accidents that might occur there would be slow speed sideswipe accidents, which are your less severe. So no more head-ons, no more T-bones at high speeds. They're much, much safer for that reason. They're more efficient, you're gonna move faster, you're not gonna be sitting at a red light. You're gonna pull up, depending on the time of day. You might just go right through, you might wait a few seconds for your gap. And that's how roundabouts work. You yield on entry. So when there's vehicles driving in the roundabout, you just wait for the gap and you pull out. The first few times you do it, you might wait for a bigger gap, and then as you get more comfortable, you'll get used to the speeds going around the roundabout, which shouldn't be more than 20 miles an hour. 15 to 20 is about the speed that people will be driving around this particular roundabout. So you just wait for your turn, enter, and then you have the right of way. Nobody can cut in front of you, don't stop for anybody, change lanes just like you would on any other road, exit where you need to, and it's pretty much that simple. I think, like the mayor said, 3 to 4 months, hopefully you'll be comfortable, you won't even think about it, you'll be through, and just like a traffic signal, you won't even notice that you did anything new. I think that's my main points. Well, want to open questions or say anything?
Yeah, thanks, Robert, for the important presentation. Now, please draw your attention. There is a video that's we're going to show you how everybody should navigate through the roundabout.
Welcome, friends, to our home here in Valparaiso. I'm Mayor John Costas. Modern roundabouts are helping Valparaiso drivers, cyclists, and pedestrians to get where they're going safely and more efficiently. Thank you for taking time to learn how to drive a roundabout. We've customized this video for Valparaiso It was filmed and edited by Megan Leitz, a recent graduate of our own Porter County Career and Technical Center. So please, sit back, relax, and enjoy as you learn how to drive a roundabout.
Hello, I'm Sue Newton, driving instructor from Excel Driving School in Valparaiso. I'm here to talk to you today about roundabouts. I find them safe and easy to drive. The #1 rule when learning how to drive a roundabout is to yield. So how do you drive a roundabout? Watch this.
One of the most important concepts of a roundabout is the yield principle. All vehicles must yield to traffic inside the roundabout, as well as vehicles exiting. Drivers should only enter after sufficient space is available to maneuver safely into the roundabout. Defensive driving is appropriate in all situations. Make sure you are aware of other vehicles within the roundabout and be alert to drivers entering and exiting. When approaching a multi-lane roundabout, drivers must choose either the left or right lane before entering. The appropriate lane choice is based on the driver's desired exit or intended destination. For the multi-lane roundabout shown in this video, the left lane allows left turns, straight-ahead movements, and U-turns only. Allowable right lane maneuvers include immediate right turns or straight-ahead movements. In all cases, signs will direct drivers to the proper lane. Drivers using the left lane have the following options: left turns, straight-ahead movements, and U-turns. Remember, when driving in the left lane, always maintain your lane position until you exit. Vehicles using the right lane must make an immediate right turn or a straight-ahead movement. Remember to maintain your lane position until you exit. For a roundabout to function properly, everyone must follow the rules of the road. As you are about to see, failure to observe these rules will create unsafe conditions for you and other drivers. Before entering, always yield to traffic within the roundabout. Entering without sufficient space will cause an unsafe condition. In this situation, the vehicle in the right lane cuts off the driver in the left lane intending to exit. Be aware of other vehicles in the lane next to you. They may be unaware of your intended exit. Never change lanes while inside the roundabout. This car in the outside lane is attempting an improper U-turn. U-turns are only allowed in the left lane. Some roundabouts are specifically built with truck aprons to accommodate the turning radius of large trucks and trailers. Although truck aprons are provided, drivers should be aware that trucks may straddle both lanes. That is why it is important to never drive adjacent to or past trucks while maneuvering through a roundabout. If you follow a truck into a roundabout, do not attempt to pass. When emergency vehicles approach, always give them the right of way. If you have not yet entered the roundabout, pull over to the right, allowing emergency vehicles to pass. Never stop while inside the roundabout. Instead, continue to your exit, then pull over to the right shoulder of the roadway, allowing emergency vehicles to maneuver around you.
So please remember these 4 points when learning how to drive a roundabout. Number 1, pick the correct lane before you enter the roundabout. Number 2, do not change lanes when entering the roundabout. Number 3, Watch for pedestrians and bike riders. And last and not least, yield to traffic that's already in the roundabout.
Hi, I'm Jan Dick. In addition to serving as a Valparaiso City Council member, I serve as chairman of Northwest Indiana Regional Planning Commission's Pedal and Paddle Committee. As such, I'm a huge supporter of non-motorized transportation. A key benefit of modern roundabouts is that they're safer than traditional intersections. This is especially true for pedestrians and bicyclists.
Modern roundabouts are also designed to be safer for pedestrians than traditional intersections. Crosswalks are set further back from traffic, allowing drivers to react to pedestrians before merging into the roundabout. The triangular islands between lanes of traffic give pedestrians a safe place to wait if they choose to only cross one direction of traffic at a time. Pedestrians should look for approaching traffic, then walk through the crosswalk to the triangular island. Before continuing, they should look for traffic entering or exiting the roundabout. When it is safe, pedestrians can continue through the crosswalk. Bicyclists can choose to walk their bikes through the crosswalk or ride through the roundabout with traffic. Like vehicles, cyclists must obey the rules of the roundabout as they proceed through the intersection.
So enjoy Valparaiso, and wherever you drive, watch for pedestrians and bikes. Be safe.
I'm Officer Casey Peterson of the Valparaiso Police Department. With Valparaiso's roundabouts, we've noticed a reduction in the number and the severity of accidents. As you learn how to drive a roundabout, you might be wondering how safe driving a roundabout really is. Compared to a traditional intersection, roundabouts have been found to be much safer. Dr. Eugene Russell, a professor of civil engineering at Kansas State University, explains.
Classic study was the one done by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, where they found roughly a 40% reduction in all crashes and about a 70% reduction in injury crashes, which to me is the most significant advantage of a roundabout, is the reduction in injury crashes and a projected 90% decrease in fatal crashes.
Because drivers yield to traffic and enter and exit the roundabout by only using right turns, the chance of T-bone or head-on crashes is virtually eliminated. Thank you for taking the time to learn how to drive a roundabout. And please, drive safely, Valparaiso.
So what does this all mean for you? For one thing, roundabouts mean no more long waits at red lights.
If there are no cars in the roundabout, you don't need to stop. Roundabouts promote a continuous flow of traffic at intersections, which has been found to reduce delays by 50% or more. Many roundabouts can even handle more cars per hour than a traditional stop sign or signal-controlled intersection. You might even notice the savings in your wallet. An Insurance Institute for Highway Safety study found that roundabouts can reduce fuel consumption by up to 30%.
The central island and shoulders of Valparaiso's modern roundabout can also be landscaped with trees and shrubs, which provide another porous surface for water to filter into the ground. And because there are no signals which require electricity, roundabouts can save up to $5,000 per year in energy and maintenance costs. Simply put, modern roundabouts can help Valparaiso drivers, cyclists, and pedestrians get where they're going safely and more efficiently. So enjoy all the benefits that roundabouts have to offer. Less traffic congestion, less time waiting at long red lights, and most of all, important safety benefits. I'm Valparaiso Mayor John Costas, thanking you for watching this video on roundabouts and encouraging you to drive safely in Valparaiso.
this time, I would like to open the floor to any questions for this particular project, if there's any.
My name is Robert Garcia. I see it has some trucks that is going through the roundabout there. I know there ain't that many trucks that go through that roundabout in Valpo. And with that Klein extension closed now, we had a lot of high truck traffic that's coming through there. Has there been a study to see how that's going to affect that roundabout?
Actually,
You want me to answer?
Both of us, you can come on. The beautiful thing in this is that when we sit up there and we did the Raleigh-Dickey one, where you know it's inundated with truck traffic, this one will be designed on that same design. So it's perfect. It's perfect. So you're going to look at wider lanes. You're going to look at the inner ring that's wider, the truck apron. Yes. So we've taken all those things into consideration.
Yeah, because I see, it's going to be multiple trucks at one time coming through there. And I don't know if that poses a danger.
Well, you have the same thing with a straight up intersection. Same thing, trucks don't disappear. So you still would have to deal with the truck traffic. But the beautiful thing here is the truck traffic has to reduce. They have to slow their speed. So there's no more head-on collisions that can happen with because every time a car and a truck, car will always lose. So that will be virtually eliminated here. So that's the beautiful thing with this roundabout.
Yeah, I understand that. I just, in the roundabout in that area, you had 2 or 3 trucks coming around that corner there, and then where cars are.
No, but like I said, the truck traffic ain't going anywhere. You got a truck stop right down on the service road there. You got them where they go to the Gary truck stop where the trucks are. So that's an illusion. The truck traffic is there all day long.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's there all day long.
And to answer your question about Klein Avenue will be work starting on it starting in August. So it's going to be revived.
Yeah, to add to that, a normal lane that you drive in is 12 feet wide. The lanes around this roundabout are at least 14 feet wide, and then the truck apron is 16 feet wide. And the truck apron is specifically there for the rear wheels of a truck to track across as he goes around. So, but we did look at, NDOT required it. We had to look at trucks. We had to look at not only the largest single trailers out there, which are called WB67s, they're your longest trailers. We also had to look at double trailers and triple trailers and buses. We analyzed all of those. So we provided what are called turning templates to NDOT, and they approved it. So they're comfortable with our design. The trucks are going to maneuver safely around.
Yes. What other education are you going to have for particularly our seniors? For me, this is a bit intimidating because it's one thing you have to decide on where you want to go before you get into the intersection, which I just realized after watching the video earlier on Facebook. So what other education opportunities are you going to have?
Well, we're going to continue to take this tour on the road. This is the first introduction to the public. We're going to have educational classes on that, even demonstration classes on it. But I tell people, we cannot be afraid of progress. Remember, go back to when you first started driving. The lanes that we have was intimidating. Go back to when you first went on the interstate. Was that not intimidating? Go back to when you first went on the Dan Ryan. So any new experience is going to always come with apprehension and fear. But I guarantee you, just like when you first as a child went to Roundabout, was not fear introduced in the whole process. Now you ride a bike and you don't even think twice about it. But we're going to, along with the pamphlets, we're going to do exactly, we don't have to reinvent the wheel here because Valparaiso have laid out the template on how to introduce the community to roundabouts. All we can do is like with everything else, say we're going to have public meetings, send information in the water bills, send it out in flyers, Facebook, Twitter, email blasts, but then people have to show up. But those who do show up will get opportunities to see how this thing is done in real time. You can see even they went there on the site to even demonstrate it. So, we just know that the future points to the roundabouts. And if you go back in time, we've had so many fatalities here on that spot right there. For 27.5 years, I was on the fire department, I was on the rescue squad. I don't have enough fingers on these two hands to tell you how many fatalities I dealt with. This would not happen in a roundabout.
Okay, one of the questions and follow-up to that, what is the, I want to say, learning curve or the rate of accidents until people kind of learn how to maneuver through this? Because there probably will be there'll be less fatalities, and the injury will be not as great, but there probably will be some smaller crashes.
Yes.
So what is that percentage?
Well, I talked to Mayor Costas, and he told me the learning curve with the community itself, meaning the residents of East Chicago who will frequent it. You're going to always have those who less travel, visited less. But he said a learning curve of 3 to 4 months before he found that people were really comfortable with going and not second guessing themselves going into it. But again, it's just the more you go that route, the quicker the learning curve will be.
I'll add, can I add to what she said real quick, Mayor? We are going to have, you know, the overhead signs that are out there now as you approach the intersection, we're going to be replacing those with directional lane use signs. So they're going to tell you where you want to go, that's the lane you need to be in. So you're going to see those far in advance. And then they're going to be marked on the pavement as well. Okay, and then my recommendation, if you know anybody that's older, that's maybe hesitant, or yourself if you're hesitant, is go at when it first opens, go at an off-peak time of day. We are going to have lighting out there. You could try going at night, or just go around noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, after the morning rush, before the afternoon rush, and kind of ease your way into it before you're doing it with a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the senior population, particularly my parents.
You know, it is intimidating the first time.
We will televise it on cable, and a lot of seniors do watch cable, so I'll play it a lot.
I'll make sure
so that they can watch it.
Sure.
I was a resident of Valparaiso for 3 years when they first got their first roundabout. And initially there was a lot of resistance to the roundabout, but it was built and people learned really quickly, and now Valparaiso, the residents love them. And I will say, initially it took people a while, but because of the slow speed, the worst thing that I saw that would happen is that people would stop. So with the speeds being so low, you get cars stopped, but there aren't too many crashes because of the low speed. So, and that was the learning curve that I saw, and then it seemed to be about 3 months, and like I said, I know Valparaiso, when I was there, after it was built, people loved it, and they've, I think, 6 to 8 or 6 to 10, they keep building them, so.
And I guess maybe it got easier, because about how many you got now, 6, 7?
I think there's around 8.
Around 8, yes. And so you know it must be an advantage to it, because someone, when what they say insanity is keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, they wouldn't keep doing the same thing if it wasn't successful. But NDOT is pushing us toward this. I can tell you the current intersection out there now, people can fly through there with speeds of 40, 50, 60. So just imagine when they go head on. And the most dangerous turn you have on that one is when you're coming from when you're coming down Columbus Drive going to Gary, and when they try to make that turn, if you want to go back like toward the White Castle, that left turn right there, when they go across the other 2 lanes and these flying here and they hit them. You know, like I say, I've picked up enough people in that area to see that it's totally devastating. You know, I'm to the point I tell people that I'll show you a good example. We're doing park improvements. We're doing $2 million worth of park improvements. And I had a person tell me, well, Mayor, you know, you beautify the parks, all they're gonna do is tear it down. We get ready to put sculptural features along the medium there, all in our parks, things that is unheard of, that we've never had. The people, well, aren't you gonna worry about them vandalizing? I'm not gonna let fear cripple me to the point that I don't see the future, and I say, well, okay, people gonna get mad about this, and they won't vote for me. Or not to put something beautiful in our community because the naysayers say this may happen. The future will stare us in the eye no matter what. If we deny the future, our children will truly face it. So if you look at it aesthetically, look at the before and the after. And that area has been devoid of any gateway treatment. And that's the potential I think we have. Any entry point into your city speaks for you before anyone get to the core of your city. And I think coming into our city, this will be the first introduction into it. The center gives you an opportunity to do some beautification. We're doing a modification along the medians. I just hope that 6 months from now that people see the before picture and the after picture and they say that this is truly a beautiful thing to do. So.
And I was going to tell Kim that maybe like on a Sunday you could take your parents, because I went to go see it too, and the hardest thing for me was the fact that I had went around a couple of times so I realized where I was supposed to get off.
Yeah.
And I think though, but I wasn't familiar with Valparaiso, so I think that was my problem, is that I didn't know to go down the main street or what street I would end up. But I think in East Chicago you kind of know. But that's what I would do, you know, is to take my parent, especially that we're going to be driving on a Sunday in Valparaiso, and just let them do the roundabout. And it's an experience.
It is.
And to see it, you know. And that's what I think I would do for older people, older family members.
And you know, the idea of it all was Garcia had showed us that there was a possibility to do like a double roundabout or roundabout and a half, because when you're coming off the bridge in Gary, to even slow that traffic down, so when you make it even entire roundabout, the traffic will be even slower. It will be consistent because you'll be constantly moving. And but you know, I told him we found 1.1 million for East Chicago. I couldn't find the other money for Gary, so I told him we live with our roundabout.
You mentioned that you would have lighting in that area. Can I recommend that you make certain that the lighting is accommodating? Some of these lights that light the streets give off such a horrible glare, and when you speak about older people, that glare is not good. And Hammond has a bad lighting system on some of their main roads, and I just, when you talk about this so-called blue light, that is not good lighting for some people.
Well, I can answer that question. As you see, all of the new infrastructure work that we're doing, all of our lighting from new construction forward will be LED lighting. It is proven to be a softer lighting. You're looking at the ozone problem that we're dealing with now, that at night the sky is still lit because of all the vapors that is emitting and destroying the ozone. So all of the lighting, when you come down, right now we're doing our Main Street project. All of that lighting will be LED lighting. We're getting ready to do the waterfront project, a $3 million project. All of that, when you come over down along the lakefront, all of that's going to be LED. We're getting ready to do the Alder Street Bridge. That's the bridge that take you over down into the marina, into the casino. That's a $2 million project. We'll be letting that out at 15. All of that lighting that you're going to see in that area, the new Klein Avenue that they're putting up, that section, all of that is LED. All of our lighting from this point forward will be LED lighting.
Which is actually more cost effective
Yes,
lighting
cost
too.
effective.
Coincidentally, it's a lot cheaper, it uses less electricity. So.
Is there any other question? There's no further questions, so thanks.
driving roundabouts is actually pretty easy to get used to. You just need to follow a few simple rules. As you approach a modern roundabout, you'll see a roundabout ahead sign. As with any other intersection, you should watch for pedestrians and stop for them. The most basic rule in roundabouts is the idea of yielding. The traffic already in the roundabout has the right of way, and the entering traffic must yield. So as you approach, be sure to look left. Most roundabouts have signs in the center island guiding you in a counterclockwise direction. When an opening appears and it's safe to proceed, enter the roundabout. Once you're in the roundabout, keep your place in line. Don't pass. As you approach your exit, put on your right turn signal. Exit the roundabout, and again, look for pedestrians in the crosswalk. If you're in a roundabout when an emergency vehicle approaches, don't stop in the roundabout. Drive out of the circle and then pull over. Did you notice the raised apron in the middle of the roundabout? Some people see tire marks there and think the roundabout wasn't built big enough to handle large vehicles, but that's not the case. The apron is there just for the trucks and other large vehicles. It gives them the extra room they need, but the raised pavement discourages use by cars. What we've seen so far is a single lane roundabout, but some roundabouts, fed by heavier volume roads, have more than one lane, both on the approach and in the circle itself. The rules we just covered for single lane roundabouts still apply. However, in a multi-lane roundabout, just as with any multi-lane intersection, you also need to choose a lane as you approach, depending on where you want to go. Typically, use the right lane for a right turn, or to go straight ahead. You can use the left lane in three ways. You can use it to go straight ahead, or to make a left turn, or a U-turn. In any roundabout, be sure to follow the signs and markings.